Hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News. Today I want to tell you about how moms looking for action wasn't satisfied with infringing on the Second Amendment and how they're going after the First Amendment now too, as well as reason number 87,069 why gun registries suck. Plus, lots more. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to the light, crisp, refreshing taste of zero-calorie night vision from TNVC.com. If you like seeing stuff more than not seeing stuff, take a look at our sponsor, TNVC.com, your source for quality night vision gear to make you the bump in the night. First up, I need to give each and every one of you the highest of fives for helping to stop the nomination of anti-gun lobbyist David Chipman for director of the AFT. Give yourselves a hand. Your calls and emails, particularly to moderate Democrats and Republicans, assured the control freaks would not get the votes they needed to confirm. The White House has pulled the nomination, but they say they'll still appoint him to a job which doesn't require confirmation. I'm sure they can find him something which fits his unique set of talents perfectly, like cleaning toilets. What do you think? What job should Chipman get? Comment below. Did you know there are almost 140,000 gun owners in the UK? I had no idea that a country where you couldn't buy pointy things and you can get arrested for hurting someone's feelings had that many guns. Well, legal guns anyway. But there are indeed quite a few legal gun owners in the UK, and most of them just got doxxed. An animal rights activist who has ironically remained anonymous stole a list of 111,000 UK gun owners from guntrader.uk and published the list in a CSV file formatted for easy importing into Google Earth. They said they did it so people could protest fox hunts and badger calls.
Badgers? Badgers? We don't need no stinking badger!
But the file contains names, addresses, phone numbers, and login credentials for tens of thousands of people who don't even hunt. For that matter, some of the entries are up to 5 years old, meaning the gun owner might have moved, or maybe even they sold their gun and they don't own one anymore. So while the breach wouldn't be particularly useful for protesters, it would be good enough for crooks, and some break-ins have already occurred, which might have been targeted based on the leaked data. Now, if you're watching this from America land and wondering why this even matters to you, first of all, gun rights are human rights. Second, this is just one of the countless and entirely predictable reasons gun registries are a terrible idea. The leak was only possible because the list existed, and it only existed in order to comply with a stupid UK law which required gun transfers to be registered. It's also worth noting that any gun registry which is truly comprehensive by nature also functions as a list of everyone who does not have a gun. So, next time you hear someone yammering about registering guns, ask them if they want to join a public registry of non-gun owners. I'll bet they're not quite so keen on that prospect. The Bloomberg-funded AstroTurf groups Moms in Your Area Looking for Action and Crazy Town have filed requests with Library asking for 3D printing files bearing their trademarks to be taken down. They claim to own intellectual property associated with the files, ironically using the word infringing. I wonder if it was intentional. I mean, that's a little too ironic, don't you think? Of course, it's not remotely credible that the control freak groups authored the files which can be used to print auto sears and firearm receivers, but their names do appear in the file names, and some of the files are for designs which incorporate the names and the logos of these control freak groups into the finished product. What do they expect to gain here? Well, probably not much. There are countless gun-related files floating around out there on countless hosting services. Even authoritarian enthusiasts like Moms Looking for Action know you can't stop the signal. Maybe they're hoping they can cost those rotten gun people some time and some money or something. But it would be a trivial thing to just change the file names and or to fill in the writing on the designs and re-upload.
Easiest thing in the world.
I mean, it would be pretty easy to avoid any expense if that's all you were interested in, that is. Sending this takedown request costs Bloomberg some money, but it doesn't have to cost the good guys anything. Nevertheless, Ivan the Troll's response was to immediately fire back using his own lizard, informing library the claim is total bullshit and requesting the files be restored. Well, friends, that's all I have for you today, but before I go, I just want to take the time to remind you to check whether you are still subscribed to our channel. Our robot overlords in the tube of views know what we want better than we do for ourselves, so they just go ahead and unsubscribe viewers from any channels which express wrongthink, like this one. Now, you kind folks know censorship makes puppies cry, and Captain America is very disappointed, so don't forget to check every now and then just to be sure you're still subscribed to us, and while you're at it, ring that notification bell so you never miss a word of our gun rights propaganda. And if you want to get email alerts for the best deals, projects we're working on, and the hottest stuff you missed on the ARFCOM forums, you'll also find a Linktree link down there in the doobly-doo for our newsletter. And remember, if you want to help us keep bringing you banger content like this, please support the folks who support us. Not only does TNVC.com give you night vision with that cool, refreshing, never bitter taste that goes down smooth, they also have mounts, lights, and all sorts of other gear to make you the bump in the night. I love you.